Howdy folks. I've worked through the night and as you can tell it's daylight now. I'm watching Sean and Deb as I sew, and I'm getting ready to start block 38 wheel spokes. So I'll take you down to the table and we'll get started. Wheel spokes consist of D2, which in my case is the red, and D5, which is the blue, and my background fabric. And as you can probably tell, we're going to do strip piecing with these two, and then all of the others are square in a square, or diamond in a square. We have a whole bunch of little pieces that we're going to be cornerstoning on to the larger squares. So my first thing I'm going to do is put my lines on the back of all of these small squares. So I'll get that done and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I have all of my lines drawn, and the next thing I'm going to do is take my glue and put a little bit in opposite corners. And I will do that to these four as well. And then I will sew from corner to corner. I'll do that on time lapse to speed it up for you. By now you already know how to do that sewing. So I'll finish gluing everything on and get sewing. Okay, we're ready to start putting this block together. A few things to notice is your background fabric will all be pointing toward the center in order to make this block work. So let's get started. You've got a center seam and a center. You're going to put the two centers together. And once again, we're going to make our stitches cross right where the X is. I guess you can't see that. You can see the X right there. You want your stitch to go right in that spot. And we're going to use a 1/4 inch or a scant 1/4 inch seam, making sure you cross right at that spot. Okay, this next one, you're not matching a seam. Now I will trim up these to the exact size after I sew. I just divided the pieces in half and then half again, knowing that I would have to do that. And again, this one has seams to match. And I'm going to turn it over and sew on this side. You may be able to notice that if you watched last night's video, when it was dark, I couldn't see. I have the same amount of lighting on, but it's daylight now and I can see better, so I can see those stitches. I've given up on these little ones. My machine is eating the block, so I'm just using them as leader enders. Okay, because I didn't keep these in the right orientation because I was worrying about crossing my seams at the right spot. As you can see, that's a perfect point. So if you pay attention to where that X is, where this seam and this seam cross, then you go right there. You'll end up with a perfect point. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this while I've got it here. And I just make it even with this block. Okay, let's see how we did on this one. Okay, I'm going to press these open. Anyway, I'm going to press these open and then it'll be, actually I can wait to press until I get this other row on. Okay. So I will go ahead and put this together. Again, matching my center seam with center seam. And I'm going to sew on the side with the triangle. Going to do some ironing and I'll be right back. There you go. The wheel spoke quilt, block 38. Well, that's it for today. So I'm going to say, be blessed, less stressed, and pet some fabric today. See you later.